I am a health and life coach, and I help professionals, executive and A type women to live, to speak, and to lead with confidence. So that is what I do. And yesterday I put out a very vulnerable post because I woke up and I needed a life coach. And of course, I'm always aware of the mission. I'm always aware of, why I do what I do. But here's the thing. Yesterday, it really came home because it was a day when, just let me know if you can hear me okay, wherever you're watching me from. I'm using this mic and another one for Instagram. So let's make sure it works everywhere. But, I put it out because what exactly life coaching is really just hit me like a ton of bricks yesterday. And it's not hiring somebody because you don't know what to do. In many cases, especially with the kinds of women who I coach, the professionals, the executives, and those A type women who are just very determined and know what they're about, many times it is that you know what you're supposed to do and you just need that kind of support to make it happen. And I was in that space yesterday, and yeah, I did find my coach because that's exactly what needed to happen. And so if you are that person who needs that kind of support, I want to encourage you to just set up a consultation with me. I call it a complimentary connection call where we talk about what the issue is and how we can potentially work together, because many times it's not that you don't know what to do. You do need insight. You need support. You need accountability. You need some kind of roadmap and strategy to get you from point A to point B. And that is what a life coach does. And I want to encourage you, if you've never had a life coach before, try it. Like, it has changed my life. I've had a coach for a couple years, changed my life, and I'm sure that is going to change yours. Today, we want to talk about one of my favorite topics. Okay, Instagram, can you see me? I think I'm live here. Let me just make sure that I'm happy. That's all right. So let's go. I'm just kind of making sure everything's working well. So tell me if you can hear me wherever you are listening. I would appreciate that. Good morning to all the Girls Success Club as well. Wherever you're watching me from, welcome. Let's talk about the comparison trap today. I think all of us can agree that there are times when, you look at what other people are doing in the world, what other people have, and you're like, oh my goodness, I wish I was there. And it's usually, hey, Tammy, how are you doing? It's usually because you are heading in that direction yourself. And you're like, oh my goodness, this person has done it or they're doing it. How did they get there? I wish that was me already. And you realize how this comparison trap is the end of the road. Like, you can admire somebody, you can celebrate them. The comparison usually goes into, not only do I admire what you have and perhaps celebrate you, now I want what you have. Everybody has been there. I have, and I want to talk about that this morning. Where are you there in your life? Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever been in that place where what somebody has is a lot more attractive than what you have? Maybe we can talk about a couple considerations this morning, two in particular. Okay. Here's the thing. And I want to end up celebrating who you are. I want to end up with you thinking of yourself as the it, as the best in your life, as the person who's the wow factor and not somebody else. It's very important that we do that. So consider this. When we look at what somebody else has, we don't realize that it comes with who they are. And I tend to believe that a lot of us like who we are. A lot of us prefer to be ourselves than other people. So the thing is, when you look at what somebody else has or what they're doing, we tend to forget that it will also, if we were to go after it and we were to hanker after it and want it and compare ourselves to them, we literally are saying we want to be them. And my question to you this morning, and I'm hoping the answer perhaps is no, the question is, do you want to be that person? Because wanting what that person has is not just wanting what they have, it's also wanting to be who they are. Do you want to be who they are? Do you even know who that person is? Any achievement that anybody makes is tied to a lot of sacrifice, a lot of the back end that you don't see. Everything that somebody does is tied to the rest of their lives. And so if you want it in the same way that they have it, you're saying that I also want your life. Is that what you want? That point is connected to the second one. If I want what you have, and I know that it's tied to the life that you live and everything that you are, I'm saying that I want that. To want that is really to give up who you are, give up your connections, your family, the things you've achieved, the things you like about yourself. Are you willing, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, to all the girls club? Are you willing to give up who you are to take on what somebody else is and has? We don't stop to kind of look at the big picture when we look at other people's achievements vis-a-vis our own. Now, here's the thing. I think we need to start from a place of sufficiency. And oh, I forgot to do our confessions this morning. I am blessed and highly favored, above only and not beneath, the head and not the tail. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I shall lend and not borrow. I have nothing missing and nothing broken. That is coming from a place of sufficiency. Not to say that I don't want to move up the ladder, I don't want to improve, increase, grow, progress, get better, all of the things. Not to say that I don't admire somebody else's progress and what they're doing, but where it stops for me, at least that's what I've learned to do, is I want it in my own way, in my own life. So that is different from just simply comparing yourself and wanting what somebody else has, right? If I love what you're doing. I want to be that way, but in my own iteration of it. Does that make a difference? The minute you start to say, oh, I am going to customize your success in my life, I'm going to have my version of it, you are privileging who you are. You are privileging your values. You're privileging your experience and your family and your background. And you're saying, I will find a way to layer that kind of success and achievement in my own life. There is no comparison there because nobody can do you like you can. You can't just take somebody else's success in their lives and just layer it on yourself. The way that you ditch that comparison is to say, hey, okay, you're doing that over there. Okay, I see you raising your kids really well, or I see you, perhaps you've written a book and I want to do that. I have an episode in my podcast. By the way, the podcast I think is going to be coming out tomorrow. We had a little bit of a mix up today, but that's okay. Yeah, that's jealousy at the highest bidder. Yes, that is right. It can go into animosity, but I think like Avis, I'm wanting to really focus on like what you are doing with somebody else's achievement in your life. What are you making it mean to you yourself, as opposed to looking outward at them? When we turn the lens on ourselves and we say like, you know what, I love this. This is good what you're doing. I so admire it. The way that you just simply stop it going into jealousy and envy and everything is to stop the comparison trap. That's where we are. And you stop it by, you know what? Because I love who I am, because I don't want to change and I appreciate my things, the things about me. How is it possible to take and to replicate that success with my own flavor, my own values? How is it going to look if I am successful in that area of my life, that way in my life? There's no comparison there. Then you are focused on yourself totally. You guys, let me tell you some of the things that I've realized. Okay, and this is especially a girl thing. This is, after all, March. It's Women's Month. A lot of things are happening where femininity and women and that the sisterhood is concerned. You know the real flex, right? So I wear my hair short for many reasons. I love my short hair. I don't care who, doesn't matter to me. I love my hairstyle. It keeps me sane. It works for me, right? And you know how we live in a society that privileges and values long hair however you get it. Isn't that true? However, wigs that eat up the entire front of your hairline because you're using all sorts of products and glue and all sorts of things, right? That's your value. That's fine. I'm okay with, do you. That's who you are. Do you, whatever works for you. But we do live in a society that privileges that kind of look. And I'm not impressed. I don't care for it. I don't want it because, I mean, I will not be able to do the things that I want to do comfortably if I had to dress like that and look like that, right? Here's the real flex about just loving who you are and appreciating yourself. It is going into the bathroom, a ladies' change room, and everybody's there combing out hair and preening, and just simply not even bothering about what they're doing. And I just come in, do my thing, admire my own self in the mirror. Have you ever done that? It's a super, well, to each his own. I'm very sensitive about the hair thing because I know deep down, like, I have some very deep um I think opinions about it, but I mean, it's to each her own. I understand that, to each her own. So I don't really approach it from it's superficial or it's not. Whatever works for you, just make sure you're doing it for the right reason and make sure nobody's renting space in your head and not even paying rent. Like, we carry around an ideal in our head and those people are not even paying rent. Like, nobody's, no, the ideal in my head is me. It's the best version of me, and I hope everybody feels that way, gets to that. No, the ideal version in my head, the superlative in my head looks like me. And that way, nobody's renting space in my head. Because if somebody is renting space in your head, taking up space, they are the ideal. And it all goes back to comparison again. If that is happening, that means you're not privileging who you are. That is a problem. That means if mentally you've lost the battle to make yourself the priority, you've lost it out there in the physical world. It'll be very difficult to do. But I was going back to my very superficial point about going into just a bathroom and not even caring who looks like what. No, I'm there. I'm just there looking at myself, preening my own self, short hair, natural, and loving it. And power to you, it's not a matter of ignoring somebody else or not acknowledging another sister who looks good or whatever. No, put the focus on yourself. That way you come out of the comparison trap. And it's not a matter of putting on blinders or tearing other people down. Let me be very clear about it. There's a fine line, or maybe it's not even a fine. There's a big distinction between just valuing yourself for who you are and loving that, and also being able, yes, it takes maturity and it takes time and it takes doing this kind of work of loving yourself. And I wasn't always there, so I do understand what you mean. Thank you for saying that, Avis. Hey, Instagram, how are you doing? I should actually come on and see. Oh my goodness, am I still live? Is it still going on? Let me see if it's still going on. Probably is. Okay, right. That's a real flex between, like, I just love me for who I am. I'm enjoying myself. This is good. And you are good too. But I don't want to be you, because if I had to be you, I would have to give up me. Why would you want to give up yourself? You are the real flex. You are the best thing in your life. Why would you want to give yourself up? Right, Instagram? Right, everybody else? So you just celebrate who you are, and then I'm able to enjoy you because there's a separation between you and I. I understand if I had to have what you had, I would have to be you. That means I would have to give up myself, and that there's going to be a problem. So I believe that life is calling us to really dial in on loving ourselves And one of the ways that you love anybody is to spend time with them. There's an exercise that I do in my life coaching practice that sometimes brings tears and a bit of a reaction. And it really is to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. For some people, that is the hardest thing to do, right? What's about looking up to the trendsetters? Um, if that's your thing, yes, there's something to be taken from them. So I got a question Instagram. I got a question on, I think this is on Facebook. What about looking up to the trendsetters? I like to set my own trends, right? I I like to do my own thing. I like to feel it first, and I will start from, if I'm feeling it, I will do it. If I'm not feeling it, I don't even care. I always go back to the example of the when the AirPods came out. I hated them. Did anybody feel? I hated how these things just drop from your ear. I hated them. So I didn't even care who had them. It didn't matter to me that they were in. I didn't like it. It didn't make any sense to me. And so I always had the power beats which went over the air. And then I got these ones which are a lot better, at least, for running and that kind of thing. Okay, I just hope, are you guys still hearing me? I think it almost just tried to connect to the Bluetooth there. Let's hope that didn't happen. But just let me know if you can still hear me. But authenticity is just simply being yourself and taking action from who you are and what you believe, if that makes any sense. So I feel like we're supposed to spend a lot of time with ourselves, and not just a lot of time with ourselves berating who we are, but loving who you are and just being grateful and thankful for who God made you to be. Um, I was thinking of this question the other day, like, Lisa, okay, why do you come on and say, I have nothing missing, nothing broken, but you are always encouraging people to do better? And I realized that the nothing missing, nothing broken is an absolute faith and okayness with your humanity, with how God made you to be. But the personal development and the growth comes from, I'm living this life as a human being, and I'm on a journey to be the best human being that I'm supposed to be. And so I'm starting from a foundation of my humanity is good. It's okay. I just simply get better from that point forward. You can't ever fall into, I am less, I am not good enough from that point of view. I hope that makes any sense. You guys, I come on here on a Thursday and I'll be on tomorrow. Tomorrow, hopefully, the podcast is going to be on. I'm talking about trust issues this morning because I discovered very recently I have trust issues, at least with friends, right? And that hit me like a ton of bricks. And I want to talk about that. Do you have trust issues? Do you have trust issues with partners, with friends, with family? We're going to talk about all of it tomorrow. But for today, I'm saying to us to let's get out of the comparison trap by really thinking of two questions. The fact that if you want what somebody has, you literally have to take the whole of them. It's you can't just pick and cherry pick. Oh, I want that trophy from you. I want that thing that you do. No, that person is able to do those things because it's connected to the sum total of who they are. Do you actually want that? The second thing I'm saying to get away from the comparison trap is that if you want to be somebody else, you have to stop being who you are. You have to give up the family, give up the origins, give up the race, give up how you look. You literally would have to erase yourself to get what somebody else wants. Do you actually want that? And I think in both cases, I'm hoping the answer is no. And so the call is okay, then find your version of success. Find your way of interpreting the success that you see in somebody else's life in your own life. That privilege is who you are, what you do, what stage you are in your life. That way, there's no comparison because you can only be the best version of yourself when you come from that point of view. Okay, you guys, it is almost 20 past the hour. And yeah, we all have things to do this morning. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Join me, tell a friend. Okay. I'm going to talk about trust issues. Like, how do you even know you have trust issues? Do you have trust issues? That is a topic for tomorrow. So, a couple things before we go that I wanted to point out to you. Please don't forget, right? Speak with confidence is coming up, and you can sign up for the wait list on the screen. It's right there on the screen, lisamdublin.com/swc. I've been listening to a couple podcasts that are locally based here in Edmonton, and just realizing the power of being able to speak, being able to communicate clearly with confidence and conviction. You have a message to give to the world, and the Speak with Confidence program, it's for professionals and executives, and it will help you to be able to clarify message and to get that art and the science of speaking. So we kick off May 3rd. And if you are that person who always wanted to deal with that area of your life, go to my website, lisamdublin.com, and you can sign up for the wait list there. Okay. So looking forward to seeing you. In any case, tell a friend, please like, share this video wherever you're watching. Share it in your WhatsApp groups and so on. Let's spread the love and the wisdom. And I'll see you tomorrow, same time on Basement Chronicles Live. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here with me this morning. Bye.